Honda Accord. If you have a 2013 to 2017 Honda Accord and you have a code P0339 crank sensor, if your car doesn't start, if it says anything about the circuit, if you're trying to start the car, all you hear is can't, but your car does not start and it's giving you a code for the crank sensor, and also you're not getting no RPMs, if you have a scan tools, you can check that out. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace that crank sensor. So what we need to do is, we need to go underneath the car. This is a 4-cylinder Honda Accord. So we're going to lift it up and remove and put in another crank sensor. And hopefully these work. If these don't work, I'm going to go get another one. All I have is this little crooked, angled wrench and another straight number 10 right there. So, right down here, you're gonna have a plate. Be careful it's not hot. You see this plate right here? It has a number 10 right there. The crank sensor is right under that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this little guy right here. All right, after once it's loose, we're gonna go to the other one, which is right here. We're not gonna remove this one. We're gonna just slowly loosen it, and that's it. And the crank sensor is right below this. All right, this one I'm gonna just loosen and leave it there, but this one I'm gonna have to remove it completely. It's a little tight. Let me turn it, give it a few more turns. Oh, the wrong side of the wrench. Okay, let's give it a few more turns. It is a little bit stiff. All right, come on. This axle is like right on the way. All right, so that bolt, and there's the number 10 that I just took off. All right, so with this one, what you can do is you can simply, if this connector wasn't here, so what I'm gonna try to do here is, I'm gonna remove this one also. Okay, let's remove them both. This one has a little cut to it, and you can slide it out of there. But since the harness is on, it's not letting us do that. And there you go. So 2 number 10s are out. Once you have that removed, you're gonna see the crank sensor right below it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push on the connector and remove the connector. And after that, you should be able to show you what it looked like. This thing should come off, and now we have better visual of this crank sensor. So this is just a little tab that I pushed in the back end. There's like a little tab on this, and after that, you should be able to remove this, push on this, and take off the connector. So as you can see right over here, let's go on the other side. To take off the plate, all you need to do is pull this tab inward. All right, that's what it is. And now we need to take off that number 10. I'm gonna have to get a socket and pull out this crank sensor. From this angle, it's pretty good. And all you do is you turn that bolt 1 or 2 turns. After that, you take off your ratchet of this extension, and you can do it by hand. Ooh, where did it go? It is a little bit more difficult for me with the camera, but gonna get it out of there. All right, guys, give me a moment, and I'm gonna take off this bolt, and then we'll pull out. Okay. Okay, the bolt is out of there. It's loose, it's just hanging there. And the crank sensor started to move. So what we're gonna do is gently wiggle it, and the sensor should just come out. If you need to, use a flathead to force it out a little bit. Break the sensor in there, but this thing will come out and you're gonna have a little bit of oil steep out. That's all right. And there's your crank sensor. All right. $79 sensor from original from the dealer. Put a little bit of oil around this seal. The part number is J5T3372. There's another number below that, 5722BR60. Okay, there's a space between a B and an R. All right, and put a little bit of oil around this seal so it's nice and flush to go in. Plus, you're gonna have a little bit of oil in the bottom below here. That's normal. So all you do is you take this sensor, and you should hear like a little budge with that seal. There you go, just like that. All right, so this is pretty much in. No issues. And try to get the same bolt. It's a longer bolt than the normal bolts. The other 2 bolts are shorter. And we're gonna reverse the procedure, okay? So make sure you hand tighten this. If you need torque specs, you can look it up. I do not have torque spec, just to be real with you. But other than that, I would just hand tighten this, okay? Nothing big deal. Tools are just falling. Just to make sure you get your sensor nice and flush, and it should be good. And make sure you spray some cleaner to take off that excessive oil. And after that, we're gonna lock up this bolt. Hand tight, all right, guys? All right, I'm gonna probably just end the video here. Make sure you put your connector in. Make sure it goes click. What I would suggest you do here is, what we can do now is, you can put one of the bolts in. Remember, I was telling you could slide the bracket out of this. So let's put the bolt in and check this out. See that little splice? It goes right through. So if you're able to manage to get this harness loose first, you don't need to take out that bolt all the way. But anyways, I'm gonna finish this job out. Thank you for watching, guys. Tool number 10s, just hand tighten them. You're all done. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, and make sure you clean up the extra oil. And crank up the car, and it should start up if that was your issue. Make sure you put the shield on, because this protects the sensor from dirt, debris, the heat from the muffler here. Make sure your connector clicks in. If it didn't, your car is never gonna start. If it's loose, it might come loose while you're driving down the road, and you don't want none of that. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. See you on the next one.